Good afternoon, boys and girls, and welcome to Adventures of the Broken Retired. I'm your host for today, Don, along with my trusty sidekick, Elmer. We're going to try to keep you entertained, tell you some funny things, and do whatever. Got to run through the spiel. If you like the content of the channel, please subscribe, like, comment. I love the comments. If you send comments in, I love them. And of course, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll be made aware of when new videos come out and you won't have to go digging around trying to find them. Anyhow, thank you very much for being here. I put out a video, I think it was last night, put out a video about Ed and Barney and their cracker time. Ed and Barney love their cracker time. And they're good guys. They deserve cracker time. You know, I used to buy them. They used to have a store down the street that had store brand crackers. They were a lot cheaper. Ugh, tired. A lot cheaper. And let's face it, I don't think the dogs are going to notice the difference between the $6 crackers and the $2 crackers. I don't think they're going to care. Maybe they'll notice. I don't think they'll care. They seem to just love whatever you give them. But I didn't have any. That store's not there anymore. They closed it. And the store that I go to now, they don't have any store brand crackers like that. So I had to buy regular name brand crackers. But that's all right. The dogs are worth it. The reason I'm bringing all this up is because someone in the comments asked me, what are you feeding them, Cheetos? And it reminded me that we used to feed them Cheetos, but we fed them Cheetos Paws, and I haven't found Cheetos Paws in a while, so I don't know what happened to them. The regular Cheetos, the long, curvy ones, look like orange, whatever. They didn't. They ate them, but they didn't really care. I think they found them a little hard to eat because of the shape, because they would drop them all over the place. Anyhow, but asking me about Cheetos reminded me of a story about our friends Barney and Ed. So let's tell a story about Barney and Ed just for the fun of it. So I don't know, a year or so ago, whatever it was, I'm sitting here in my office doing work, doing estimates or doing whatever I was doing at the time in my office here. It was about probably 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm over here pushing the pen as fast as I can, trying to get things done so I can get out and get to work. And I hear a car horn start blowing outside. Beep, 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 beep. It keeps going and going. So I get up and I walk outside to see who the idiot is who won't get off his horn. And it was no idiot. It was some guy who was nice enough to pull up in front of my house and stop and let me know that there was a couple of dogs running around loose in my front yard. He thought maybe they had gotten out of our backyard and he wanted to let me know. And he was 100% right. And it was very, very nice of the guy to do that. Most people would just drive right by, hopefully not take one of the dogs with them. They would just drive right by, but he didn't. He stopped to let me know. So I want you to understand, Barney, we used to call him Barney Digger Dog. Barney was an escape artist. We have a 6-foot wooden fence all the way around the yard. Barney would either dig under or break through. I mean, he would literally break the boards and break through the fence almost every day and run over to the neighbors' yards to go play with them. People on one side of us loved Barney and Ed. Even when they were barking like crazy, they loved Barney and Ed. I went and talked to the guy one day on my east side. And I told him, man, I'm sorry them dogs make so much noise, dude. I try to keep them quiet, but what am I going to do? They're dogs. And he said, oh, no, man. He said, I love them dogs barking. He said, I'm going to tell you why. Because if somebody comes to my house who ain't going to be here, them dogs are going to be barking like crazy. They're going to chase them off. Hey, he's right. He was pretty cool. People on the other side of us don't care for dogs. And so when Barney would get out and go over there to play with them, they didn't want to have anything to do with them. And that's okay. I understand that. You know, they shouldn't have to worry about my dogs in their yard. They shouldn't have to listen to my dogs bark their brains out when they're in their own backyard. You gotta keep your dogs under control. You may think they're absolutely wonderful to have, and that's great. Other people might not feel the same, and it's their house. They're paying their note in their neighborhood, so you gotta take care of your dogs. Anyhow, Barney and Ed had gotten out, so I ran back in the house. I told the guy, "Thank you very much for stopping and blowing his horn to get me out of the house," so to let me know they were out. Back then, they didn't wear any collars at all because they would grab each other by the collar and drag each other around the backyard, and I was afraid they would hang each other, or maybe they would catch the collar and make it real tight and choke the other one to death and not be able to do anything about it or know what's happening. Every collar that we tried on them, they ended up ripping off completely. No matter what we put on them, they would tear it off. And you got to admit that must have hurt, But so we got Ed and Barney running around the front yard. I stopped, tell the guy, "Thank you very much." Come running back in the house. We got Amy, and I told Amy to go get the cheese paws so we could get the dog, because the dogs didn't want to come in. They wanted to run around free. We opened up the front door and we used the Cheetos to get the dogs to come back. Well, Ed did it pretty quick. Ed only took a couple minutes in the house. Barney had a different idea. Barney liked his freedom. Barney liked running around in the front yard, although he will not go out there through the house. If he can get through the fence, first place he's going is the front yard. But if you open the front door of the house, he will not go out. You have to pick him up and carry him outside. You got to put him in the truck, take him to the vet. You got to pick him up and carry him either through the garage, which faces the front, or you got to carry him out the front door into the front yard. He won't go out there on his own. But Barney had a different idea because he was free and he wanted to be free. so Amy had a Cheetos paws in her hand, and I had one in my hand. And Barney wouldn't. He was staying just far enough away we couldn't get him. And finally, he took the Cheeto from Amy, and Amy picked him up, and he ate it real quick. And I was petting his head and telling him, "Good boy, Barn. Thank you for coming." And he looked at me, and he gave me this look that you lied to me. You fooled me with it. You just wanted to take me in the house. And I went to give him the one that I had, and he would not take it. He was putting his head sideways and moving away. He wouldn't take the Cheetos paws from me because Amy had used one to fool him to get him to come in the house. And I just thought the story was funny as funny could get. I would come home from work almost every single day. I would come home when we first got them dogs. I would come home from work almost every single day and have to fix the fence. Barney was a little escape artist. He could dig and slide through the smallest opening. And Ed is much bigger than Barney, but wherever Barney goes, Ed's going. I mean, it's like there's a string tied between them two. And so Barney would dig a hole, get out under the fence, and Ed would squeeze through there too. And I have no idea how Ed would squeeze through a hole, big enough for a squirrel, but he would do it. And we caught him one day. Poor Ed. He's big. He doesn't know it. We caught him one day. Barney was in the next door neighbor's yard. Of course, he's barking like crazy. Barney's in the next door neighbor's yard, and Ed got halfway through the hole under the fence and and we busted him halfway out. And he was upset. He didn't like the fact that he got caught. And I couldn't help him out. He was kind of stuck in there, but I couldn't help him out. But he was on his way out of the yard. So he finally got into the neighbor's yard. I got Barney to come back through the hole in the fence, got him in the house, and then I had to get Ed to come back through that hole that he had gotten stuck in. And he did it. I have no idea how he fit through there, man. It wasn't hardly big enough for an envelope. But he got through, and he came back. We got him in the house, and I went outside and fixed the fence like I do every time. I put boards across the bottom and hammer them into the ground a little bit so They're a little harder to dig under. But I've fixed the fence a lot of times. Anyhow, just a story about Barney and Ed, just for fun. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for all your subscriptions. I really do appreciate it. The comments are fantastic. It's really, really great to go through and answer those comments. I obviously, because of what I'm doing here, I like talking to people, and so it's fun. It's fun to respond. You see, I changed up the scenery a little bit. It was getting kind of boring. That's the in one of my videos, I talked about a magazine I used to publish, and that's them right there. Anyhow, thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the notifications bell so that you can be made aware of when new videos come out. You don't have to go digging for them. And my old buddy Elmer here, who somebody suggested should get googly eyes, and I'm thinking, that's a good idea. I like Elmer having googly eyes, just don't have any yet. So we'll see about Elmer and his googly eyes later on. But anyway, this is your host, Don, and his sidekick, Elmer, signing off. Have a good afternoon. Let's take us out, Elmer. Well, maybe not. Let's try this. Take us out, Elmer.